Hello everyone, welcome on a new episode of Robert Spotlight.
Robert Spotlight.
Doing all this moderation stuff for Discord.
I'm a social media futurist.
Been a moderator at veefriends.
Now it's my project because I love sports.
I'm speaking at NFT NYC.
Welcome on the show. Welcome everyone and welcome on a new episode of Robert Spotlight, episode 54. And today, Robert Spotlight, Weecent, welcome on the show.
Hi, thanks for having me.
Thank you to be here. Weecent, could you introduce yourself for people that don't know you?
Yeah, my name is Weecent. So in real life, I'm a tutor. I teach mathematics and physics. And in Web3 space, I work as a Discord moderator for two projects. One is World of Women, and the other one is Dapper Dinos NFT.
Let's go. So we are going to talk, the topic of the day, it's Discord moderation, but just before jumping on that subject, I just want to know a little bit more about you. So could you say to me how you discover the decentralized world, everything around blockchain?
Pardon? Sorry.
Could you tell to me how you discover the blockchain world?
Or blockchain?
Yes. Web3, the Web3 space at large.
Yeah. So my journey actually started from last year in May of 2021. So I'm very into the Gary V's content. So I listen to his content a lot, very frequently, especially the podcast. And during that time frame where he's going to launch veefriends, so I have zero idea what is cryptocurrencies. I have zero education about the Web3 space. But then I think it's very interesting because Gary is very passionate. He thinks that this is the evolution of the internet, like from Web 1 to 2 to 3. So that's why I gather some information. I go and educate myself, and I eventually gathered some money to buy enough Ethereum and to mint a veefriend during the May of 2021. So and from there on, I'm very dedicated to the community in Discord. So that's why I'm very I'm jumping into conversations frequently, and one thing gets to another, and that's why I'm here.
Okay, let's go. And basically on social, you share the story of how you minted the veefriend 900 balanced beetle, right?
Yes.
So basically, it's just what you said. It's what started your Web3 journey.
Yes, correct.
Let's go.
That's my thing.
Yes, and basically, I believe that you to put some money on the side to be able to purchase this token. I believe you closed something, right? You had a business.
Yes, that is correct. So during that time in 2020 and 21, because of the COVID situation in my country, I'm based in Malaysia, by the way. Okay, so I'm a tutor, so I own a tuition center where the students came to the center to have class with me. But during the pandemic, we have to close down. So education centers are one of the most affected industry in Malaysia because of the safety of the students, of course. So my business is very it's impacted in a poor way because I cannot operate it. I can't open it at all. So I have to close it down. I am on the verge of thinking whether I should just hold on and reopen it later on or just close it down. But eventually I think that I want to go all into teaching on the internet and Web3. So I closed it down because business is not good for 2 years. So I actually don't have enough money to buy any Ethereum at that time. So I somehow go on to something like garage sale. I sell all the chairs, the tables, like the air cons, everything, the cupboards.
Gary style.
Yep. So I sold everything, and I gathered around 1 ETH that time. So I am able to mint one veefriend because it's it's a Dutch auction, so I just have to wait until it dropped into the floor price, which is 0.5 that time. Yep, and it was like 2 a.m. that time. I was waiting from evening until 2 a.m. to. I'm actually praying, please don't sell out, because I thought it would sell out, but it didn't. So I get to have to mint it on the price point where I can afford it. And so that's the story.
Perfect. It's great. And full disclosure, it's the kind of the same story for me. It's Gary V started my Web3 journey. It's the first NFT that I mint. It's veefriends as well. So we are kind of brother here, and we are on veefriends community together. So thank you to explain that, to give your background kind of a little bit. And let's move on the subject of the day. So Discord moderation. So first, what would you say about the role of a Discord moderator?
I think the role it can be broken down into different categories. So different projects, they have different requirements for moderators. But basically, first of all, I think it's the safety, because it's rather risky to like interact with strangers on like private messages in Discord, because there are a lot of scammers around, especially in the Web3 space. So the first thing we have to do is to make sure that the community feels safe and is actually safe to come into the Discord and to have some conversations with their friends and even make new friends. Okay, so safety is one of them, and of course to make sure the culture is respectful and inclusive, because sometimes there are some trolls that comes in and use some disrespectful languages to chat with others, just wants to bring down people. So we have to like try to ban them. And of course, we are trying to gather information from the community to the founders of the projects, because as we all know, the founders are very busy, so they can't hang out in the Discord all the time. So the moderators is kind of the bridge between the community, the conversations and the founders. So we have to gather information from there to see whether what is going on with the heat or the temperature within the community, and we have to feedback those to the founders, and they can act accordingly. Because part of the reason why Web3 is special is because of the community, right? Because in previously, if we invest in some kind of IPO companies, it's just an investment. But in Web3, we have ownership. So there's another layer of attachment. Like I'm very attached to my my veefriends. So I feel very excited when I come into the veefriends community and so on. So that is part of it. So mostly it's to keep the Discord channel safe from scammers or trolls, to make it a safe space for everyone to come in and to chat. And the other one is to make sure that the founders actually know what is happening within the community, and they can act accordingly and benefit the founders and also benefit the members.
Okay, it's pretty clear. So what or I will summarize what you just said. It's around safety and curation. So it's safety against a scammer and against being inclusive on the discussion. So to one to another and against a scammer. And curation, it's between making a bridge between all the new stuff happening and feeding that information to the other. So it's like to be a bridge between the creators and the holders.
Yes.
Perfect. Could you, so you are right now moderator for World of Women and Dapper Dinos. Could you explain how you achieved that?
Am I what? Sorry.
Or have you been able to be in this position for these two projects?
Oh, you mean can I be moderators on different projects.
Yes, or have you been able? So it's like before you wasn't a moderator, and now you are a moderator for these two projects. So could you explain a little bit about how you have been able to take this position for this project?
Oh yeah, sure. So so actually, from my experience, how do you become a moderator? It's basically you just become an active members within the Discord channels. So I am very active in there because of my my working hours. Because I'm a tutor, so my job is typically starting from the evening to the night, where the students are off from schools and they need to get some help for their homeworks and things of that nature. So during the days, because I'm fascinated on what kind of people I'm interested in, what kind of people actually are interested in Web3, what shaped this community. So I always jump into communications, like conversations with them. So another thing is that because I think maybe because I'm a teacher or educator, I always try to help people, like, because this is so new. Some people have no idea what is going on. What's hot wallet? What's a cold wallet? What's minting? And is it safe to? Why did I get some random airdrops in my wallet? What's going on? Should I do it, burn it, or things of that nature? So I will always, before I am an official moderator, I will always act like I'm trying to help people understand things. So I'll go into the chat and triple check the facts and then feed them back. So on, days and months. So eventually people saw this. Maybe the manager saw this, maybe the founder saw this. They think, hey, we are expanding. We need to hire more moderators. So maybe we can find someone that's suitable, that's helpful, that's knowledgeable within the Web3 space. And that's how I do it. So I have been a moderator for more than a year now, actually. Time flies. So I was the Dapper Dinos moderator first on September last year.
Okay.
And then on November last year, I joined the World of Women moderation groups. Yep. So it's been a year or so. So if I think it's an opportunity for anyone who wants to work remotely and also very passionate in the Web3 space. Because sometimes I overheard some conversations from maybe some youngsters or maybe some people that doesn't have enough money. They can't mint anything, they can't buy anything. So I would just tell them to just act as if you are an investor, you are one of us, because you can always chat with us. It doesn't matter you have a token or no. We're just having fun and being friendly. So you can just join and go in, being positive, being practical. I think it's very practical, like Gary always says, it's very practical to work and to go into the conversation to see what is going on. And eventually one thing gets to another, and I think the opportunities are there. It's very new and it's very exciting. So if anyone wants to have a job in the Web3 space, I think the fastest way actually is to go in the slow way. Just go into the conversation, try to help people, try to help the community, and one thing will get to another.
Let's go. I'm going to clip that part. I'm going to quote you on that. The faster way, it's a slow way. It's a kind of a great quote. So I'm going to quote you on that. And basically what you just say is just to be a part of the community, you know, is to be present on the community and active on the community. So basically what you have done is just to be present, try to help, be practical. And at some point, people reach out to you, offering you that opportunity. So it's what happened.
Yep, exactly.
Perfect. I have a question about your time schedule. Not time schedule, but how you organize your schedule. You know, it's like how many hours on the week are you spending doing moderation? Do you work only the weekend? Maybe the evening, Monday to Friday? Mm-hmm. What could you say about your schedule?
My schedule, it's usually I'll go into Discord whenever I am free, to be honest, because first of all, I used to do that way before I'm a moderator. Okay, but over the time, I will be more organized because usually I'm trying to be attentive to my work so that one will not get into the way to another. So I go into Discord every day, actually, every day from Monday to Monday to Monday. Is that what we say? Yep. So that's usually in the morning and evening for me, because in the afternoon time I have to. So in the early morning I wake up at 6 a.m. because I have to prepare my daughter to send her to school, and after that having some breakfast I'll just jump into a Discord and Twitter actually. So Discord is just part of the community. I think Twitter is another place where we can actually build connections. So I usually will go in there to really observe, to see what is people talking about, what is the news, what can we learn about those, whether it's crypto or it's NFT, new project, old project, things of that nature. So that's what I do. We are required to go into a Discord for a fixed amount of hours, but I always pass that because to be honest, I'm really grateful to have this job in Web3 space, because it's fun and I'm passionate in it. But I don't think I'm like experts in anything at all. I am like everyone. I'm just into this last year, May, but I think I just try to give more than I take, whether it's from minting a World of Women, which is totally random because I was not supposed to mint that. Yeah, it's a cool story how I go into World of Women, because I have no idea what is it until Gary says, oh, that's a cool project. It's called World of Women, and a huge part of the income will go into the charity, which I like. And that minting day, 27th of July, it's actually my mom's birthday. I get a little bit of Ethereum. I'm trying to mint something for my mom to give her as a gift of like a birthday present. I was trying to mint another project, which I won't name.
Okay.
But I actually successfully minted on the website, but after that it's actually an error in the smart contract. So luckily I got refunded. And then I have the money to mint World of Women right after Gary says, hey, let's mint this cool project. And that's how I joined this project. I mean you for my case, I think people always think that maybe it's analysis that will make us successful in the investment. But in my case, I think it's just some kind of leap of faith. I just trust Gary, so I mint a free friend. I take a look at World of Women. I like what they're doing. I love that even if the project goes to zero, I still make a small impact to some charity programs. So just like Gary says, doing the right thing is always the right thing. So I'm just grateful for all these circumstances and opportunities. So I'm just trying to work as hard as possible. So I just go into a Discord as much as I can to make sure everything is it's good.
So there is no minimum time that you say that I need at least to, as a regular job, it's like you have let's say 40 hours a week. There is not something similar with approaching moderation on Discord?
There is. We have to clock in 15 hours for World of Women. Yeah, that is part of the job scope. So, but I always pass that. Because I'm trying to give more than I can. Yeah.
Okay. So it's 15 hours a week, and how do you cover the time zone? Because I'm assuming that you have to be present on a certain time. Otherwise, it could to avoid too many overlap and to be follow the sun.
So we have a schedule. So we have a schedule of all of the moderators. So what time we'll go in, and so that the goal is to make sure that we will have a minimum of one moderator, 24 hours a day. So we came from different countries in different time zones, in Americans, in Europe, in Malaysia and Asia. So we are pretty much covering all of the hours. So yeah, we have a schedule to see which hours everyone is clocking in, so that we make sure that we are not overlapping too much.
Okay, perfect. So the initial question was about your schedule, and you said that you need to be organized. So my next question now is to know what tips do you know right now regarding organization?
I think you should separate the time of your real life situations, like your work or things at home, and then to see how much hours you can afford or you want to dedicate into this Web3 space. So usually I believe that for example, maybe some people work 9 to 5. So when they go home, eat something at 6 or 7, they're pretty free. So they can hustle from 7 to 10 or to 11, depending on what time they are going to sleep. So my tip is like this: you take care of yourself first in real life, and then you have extra time, you go all in with those, no matter how little the time, 30 minutes, 1 hour, etc., depending on yourself. You go all in, you just drive yourself into there, and then you just try to learn as much as possible. Because I think, from my observation, some people might twist it around. They spend too much time into it, which is fine, but not to the point that you are stressful, like FOMO or things of that nature, or because your time zone, maybe you have to wake up extremely early or stay very late night just to mint something or just to buy something. I think it's okay to do it from time to time, but it's not that healthy if you are doing it consistently. So I think mental health is very important. To me, it's the most important to have a great mind. It doesn't matter what NFT you have. Even if you have all the crypto punks and board it, if you are not happy, it makes no sense at all. So that's my tips. Just take care of yourself in real life first. And if you have time, you use those time, no matter how limited it is, you just go all in. Just go in, listen or talk or just learn. I think that little amount of time, if you go in from time to time consistently, the experience or the friendship or the information you get is exponential. Yep. So like me, I've do it over a year and a half. I think I've learned so much that I can't explain. But I think one of the most important points is that I do it every single day, or even consistently. Even you can't do it every single day, maybe every hour, every day, or every any other days, or even if every 1 week.
Yes, I understood perfectly. I understood. And do you have any tips around tools that can help a moderator to be either organized or more productive?
Not actually. So usually I will just go in and to see how people works. Actually, to be honest, I also learn a lot from all the managers and other moderators as well, because I want to see how they work, how they react to everything. Like sometimes some people are not that polite, yeah, but you have to be professional and polite because you are part of the representations for either the projects or the team. So I didn't have any particular apps or websites to go to. I just go into Discord and see how people works and try to absorb as much as possible.
Perfect. Right. So you talk about being polite. So previously you said that how to describe your role, it's around safety against scammer and between each other on the community, and being a bridge between the creator and the community. Mm-hmm. So being polite. Could you share with us your one scenario that was very challenging for you to handle around this topic?
Because on Discord, not every people are doxed. So some people might be hiding behind a PFP or hiding behind the keyboards. So I can understand why some people are frustrated, because maybe they bought it too expensive and they couldn't sell it now because the floor price goes down from time to time. But the market is the market. Things go up and down all the time. Everything, not just Web3, right? So they might be very frustrated. So they might present themselves in anger. Okay, so I will feel hurt initially, to be honest, because I would think like, why would say something to another human being? Like, we never did anything wrong to you. We're just doing our job right here. But from time to time, I think the key point is, if you want to be a good moderator, you don't take things personally. They are not against you. They are not trying to attack you. They are just frustrated on certain things, maybe the price, maybe the investment, etc. So don't take it personally. Try to be as middle as possible. Don't get too high, don't get too low. Just try to help them. Try to explain things to them, and then move on. So that's how I look at it. Like empathy. Like I have a lot of empathy, because maybe they push all their savings into one single minting or projects, but it doesn't came out that pretty. So I have a lot of empathy to that, because I came from very humble beginnings. I am not rich. I'm actually poor when I was a kid. So I understand the frustration and the ambition to make it rich or things of that nature. So yeah, I think I have empathy, so I'm not angry. So I can show kindness when I saw something not that kind. But I think it's part of the game. Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Same question around scammer. So what have been the most challenging scenarios that you have been to deal on the past around scamming situation?
To me, it's when I first trying to handle situation where some holders get scammed actually. So they get scammed. They can't find all their NFTs in their wallet, so we have to go and check whether it's just a false alarm or it's a real scammer. So because they might not know what's going on, they might lost a lot of money from that scammer, and they thought that we can somehow reverse it, but we just can't, because it's not how blockchain works.
Yes.
It's right. It's our full responsibility to keep our tokens or assets safe. So it's very challenging to me, because some of them are devastating. It might be all of their investment, all of their life savings. So it's really hard to try to calm them down or comfort them. And at the same time, I'm also trying to educate them so that they are not disappointed to this technology and this space, which is wonderful. And they will be more spotlight on the safety on their assets. So it's very challenging, because I feel really sad. I feel really sad, because I can understand that over a few seconds, few minutes, and all your thing is gone. It's so alarming and frustrating at the same time. So yeah, that's the most challenging. So I always try to push the safety and the education around Web3, because I think before you spend any amount of money in your investment, you have to understand it's your responsibility to keep all of your things saved. It's not a game, because pushing buttons is too easy. You have to learn all about smart contracts, all about cold wallets versus hot wallets. So it's not fun, but it's important.
It's
so
needed.
That's why
basically it's needed. It's not fun, but it's needed. So yes. And regarding the education part, would you say that there is enough education content around Web3 things at large?
I think we have, but we are not that mainstream. So for example, we don't have usually, from what I'm sawing, usually the education came from which project you go in first, and then you go in, you trust the project, you trust the community, and you learn from there. But sometimes it depends on your, I don't know, serendipity of life, luck, which you have no idea who introduced you to what. So you might go into some projects and you might trust the wrong person, and then have a wrong idea, have a wrong picture of how it goes. So I think there is some great people out there. They are trying to educate people as much as possible. But I think at the same time, the micro education is very important. What I mean by micro education is that we can learn more things from people we trust. So for example, if your brother, your sister, or your close friends trying to educate you in some area that you are not familiar, it's easier to pay attention to them because you trust them already, right? So for example, maybe I create a content, but people don't know who I am. They might not be that trustful to that. But then again, what I think is important is that if, let's say I teach Robert something, and Robert go and teach his friend or families or colleagues about it, I think this ripple effects, it's more important. That is how I think we can make Web3 mainstream. And if the starting point of getting the news is education, it's like getting to know what it is, what's the technology, or what's the safety, etc. I think it's important, because most of the time I like to talk NFTs and this technology to my real life friends or students who have no idea what it is. So I ask them, do you know that? Then they say, oh, I know, it's a lot of money there, and like monkeys.
Yes, it's headline readers. Yes.
Yep, correct. So I think that it's like I explained to my friend, it's like you can't introduce someone to something from the price itself. It's just like if an alien came here and he asked me, or she asked me, what is Google? The first thing I'll tell him or her is that Google is a search engine and so on, and showcase to him what is going on to Google. Not that, oh, I'll tell you that Google, the price of the Google stock is XYZ. But it's absurd, right? If someone asks you what is Google, then you tell them the price of the stock is absurd. But it's happening a lot in NFT space. So people tell, hey, what is this project? And they'll start with the floor price, but I don't think floor price reflects to anything at all. So I think if we can, as OG, quote unquote, and if we can introduce to our friends that are not familiar to the blockchain technology or NFT or crypto in a way that it's actually very safe, but you have to take care of yourself rather than relying on other people. You have to be accountable. Then it's a great opportunity to not just learn, but I think it's also a very great opportunity to have some really good investments if you do some deep homeworks.
Okay. But here, regarding the education, I didn't ask a question with a price perspective. It was really as a knowledge perspective. So I get your feedback. I get your explanation with the alien images. That is very representative. My follow-up question regarding the education, it's how many people do you onboard, let's say on a weekly basis?
Not quite, to be honest. I try to explain to them what is going on rather than ask them to invest in something, because I really don't want the feeling that they want some quick bucks so that they came into the industry. I would introduce them as in to tell them what is going on, what did I buy, what projects I loved, and why is that so? Because I think it should be their own responsibility to do the real homework before they buy anything at all. Not just, because Weecent tell me to buy it, so I buy it at all. Yep. So I will teach them as much as possible until they understand, and I'm trying to seduce them to ask me questions. Like
how would you do it?
Yeah, I would tell them that I have several projects. You can go in, you can join conversations, you can join the Discord, you can go on or just go to the open seas and just admire the work, etc. And then if they are interested, they will come back to me, and then they will just ask me, what is going on? What is minting? Why is this price? Why is this so expensive? Why is this so inexpensive? Things of that nature. So I would explain to them like bite size, bit by bit, little by little. So I'll tell them not to hurry because I think rushing in is definitely most likely the worst idea in Web3, because they will be very resentful. Where's my money? I want to 10x my money, but what's going on? Not happening. Because it's not happening. It's not like that. It's not like that at all. So I would try to go it very slowly, not to tell them that, it's a best opportunity right now, it's a bear market, so you go in, buy low, sell high, etc. No, you just go in and learn. If you like it, cool. If you don't like it, you just leave. Doesn't matter at all, because it's fine. It's a choice. So I would just give them some information of what I know, and then they go in, they figure out themselves. And if they want to, because it's, I can imagine the fearfulness of everything the first time. I remember the first time I'm trying to transfer my veefriends into the ledger. Oh my God, so scary. It's super
You have to be very careful to
Yes.
make the thing very slowly. Yes, it's
Yes,
it's true,
I
it's true.
triple check the address, every single alphabet, the wordings, is it correct? I'm so afraid I send it to a wrong address or send to, I have no idea where, then I cannot get back anymore. So, but I can also understand that if someone that is experienced, that are by your side, they're trying to showcase you what is going on, then it's a lot easier. Mentally and physically, it's a lot easier. So usually I would just try to help them to work on those technical problems. Like for example, I went to a meetups with other World Women holders. So they have a free mint of World Women Galaxy, but they can't figure out how to do it because of the ledger problem. So I just tell them you just bring your ledger, bring your laptop, and I'll just show you how, and then we can fix it very easily. So from there on, I think that I'm trying to like be an assistant to you if you want to go in, but not an advisor. I think because it maybe it's just me. I don't like to give advice, especially on investment.
Yes, it makes sense. Yes, it makes sense because it's not going to lead to, if we assume that most of the time the investment, it's not good, that will lead to not a good relationship in the long term. So that makes sense. So if I summarize your approach, it's like you try to seduce them, give bit by bit information, and be here as an assistant whenever there is an issue, right?
Yep, correct. So I would just share my information, like my experience. What did I do? I would only share what I have done. I only share what I have done before. Like for example, I would advise someone to really buy a cold wallet because I've done it. I know it's scary, but it is what it is. So I would always tell them my experience. I'm just sharing information. And if you want some advice, I can give you what I have faced before, and I can help you to do so. If you need someone to help you to either buy a ledger, from buying to getting it to like connecting it to the internet and so on and so forth. Yep.
Okay, makes sense. And to seduce someone, how would you do it? It's like it's kind, because when you say that, on my head, I was capturing an image about, oh, it's kind of making a curation for someone about some things that this person may love, you know, and it's like, okay, good, like, go start from here. You know, it's not like start from nowhere, start from here, you know. So did that was what you had as well on your head, or it's something different when you refer, try to seduce them?
I try to not to be like a salesman, because I think if I push it too hard, like I would be like a salesman, which is not the best case scenario. It's good to be a salesman, but in this case, it's not, because I think to me, the gap from buying or minting something to not knowing anything, it's actually higher than some other investment portfolios. So I would try to explain to them to be open-minded, and the reason why is because it changes my life. That is my story. It's a true story. I did it myself, and it actually changes my life. Not because like I minted the Bored Ape, then I get millions of dollars. No, because it changes my life because I get to know people from all over the world. And in this space, I feel it differently, because I think people are gathered together with similar mindsets. Like, for example, if you like veefriends, if you like World of Women or Dapper Dinos, etc., there must be some characteristics or some virtues or some essence within the community that you like: kindness, like inclusiveness, like respectful, etc. So I get to know people. I am very introverted, to be honest, in real life. I'm very afraid to make new friends in real life before Web3, before NFT, and so on. But now I feel safer, because I think the space, it's a little bit safer than anything else I have experienced. So that changes my perspective. That changes how I approach to people. And also I can learn a lot of different aspects in different industries, because everyone came from so different industries, right? Like education, like business, like entrepreneurs, and so on. So I changes my perspective and my approach to work on anything in real life. So and of course, because I have a job as a moderator in Web3, so I have another layer of understanding of this, and so I think my life changes, because the whole model of how I lived my life, or my perspective, or how I work in real life changes, and of course, because of that, monetary wise, financial wise, also have been improved, because I hit, like, let's say, kind of bottom in 2020 and 21 because of COVID situation. But so people will think, oh, it's so pity that the business has to go down to close it. But it's the best thing happened to me. So it's interesting to see, oh, it seems like a rock bottom, but because of this technology and this opportunity, I can have a new way of life and make it even better than before COVID. So when people saw it, oh, he seems to like come back to life, like Rocky. Okay, so they are a little bit impressed. So I can use that leverage to tell them that, hey, you see, I came back because, not because I mint something expensive and then I sell it. I rarely like mint and sell, because I don't think I'm good at this, like analysis, like selling high, buy low, etc. I just bought into projects I liked and just try to hold on as long time as possible, 10, 20 years. That's my mindset. But I still get to have financial impact in my real life, not just because I mint something expensive and sell it, but just the way the founders works, the members works, and I try to get that feedback into my real life. And so, quote unquote, the seduced part, right, is that I became the seduction. when people saw that, they somehow think that, hey, maybe there is something I can learn from him. So I can just tell them, you can learn from me a little bit, but I'll tell you as much as possible. But you have to go into yourself to see what's going on, because I can't replicate everything. It's good for me, might not good for you. So that is the part. I just use my life experience, and I just try to tell them that be open-minded, because it might change your way, change your life in a way that you will never expect it. Yes.
Okay. Perfect. Let's talk a little bit about innovation. So, what are the things that you can do today that you wasn't able? So, innovation from a tech perspective, right? So, what are the things that you can do today as a Discord moderator that you wasn't able to do 1 year ago?
I think, to me, I think Discord is very fascinating, although it's very hard to learn at first. I didn't use Discord at all before this Web3 and NFT, but I think it's just some kind of an app for gaming. But I think it's very powerful because it's very engaging. The conversation is very engaging because you can use a lot of bots, GIFs, etc. So it's not boring, and it can add a lot of layers into it because you can add channels based on the interests of the community. So I think to me the innovation is, it's actually the old school way of gathering people that want to learn something similar or want to feel something similar. So to me, I think it's important to know that we all need a community to support you. It's not just Web3. You want to be the mayor, you need a community to support you. You want to be the most famous chef in your town, you need a community to support you. I think Discord is very special because of the layers it can add on beyond the conversations. So you can have a lot of games, you can have a lot of raffles, and so on and so forth, just to name a few examples. So I think if you want to do things differently, you have to think from how would I gather people with similar interest or similar values in life, so that we can gather around and do something that we want to do together. And if I want to start anything at all, any business, I would start from Discord, to be honest. And of course, it depends on your market, right? Maybe you're targeting youngsters or maybe older people and so on. But I am surprised because I'm a tutor, so most of my students are teenagers. They use Discord a lot, like it's nothing to just jump into Discord and just play around. And I asked them, why do you all like Discord? Because they said because it's fun, it's relaxing, it's lightweight, and they are very surprised when I told them that I have quite a lot of expertise in Discord, because they think old people like me.
You are over, game over. We don't talk to you.
So they think that, what, you know Discord? I say I know Discord more than anything you know in Discord. So I think the possibilities are a lot. Yeah. So I think the quote unquote innovation is actually the old school way to try to build community from starting point, and just trying to give value, just bring value into the community, and trying to give them a reason to come in, so that we can just have a reason to go into the Discord, even if it's not about an NFT project and so on.
Okay, perfect. But in as you said at the beginning, to describe your role, it's to make the community safe, and to be a bridge between around information between the creator of the project and the community, right? So my question around innovation, it's like, what could you do today around safety and curation information that you wasn't able to do 1 year ago. So basically, I really tried to dig deeper to understand did there is any kind of advancements on the Discord moderation space. So it's really like this that I try to narrow down the question.
I think the layer is that let's say we do not have Discord, we don't jump into Discord, but we still have NFTs, but we still have the projects. What will happen? I think there's still tension. We still need to have some information announcements from the projects itself so that we can get updated, or if there's an action to be done, that we know to do it in time. So if there's no Discord, you have to go into Twitter or any social medias that you're using these days. So I think the innovation part is that we could add a lot of layers of safety right when someone jump into the Discord, like enter the Discord. For example, we can add bots to recognize your wallet, to make sure that you are a holder or no, so that we can add roles to you. And then with certain roles, you can do certain stuff. That definitely.
Are you talking about Vulcan, for example?
Yes.
Yes.
For example, okay. Yep. Or Collabland. Okay. So that verification, I think, is very important, because usually if you are a holder, we can rule out that you are a random scammer or troll from initial starting point. So I think that it's very important, because I cannot see anything similar outside of Discord. Like, even if I have verification on Twitter, but it's too easy to get verification on Twitter right now. You just pay. That's all. We can even buy followers from from yes. I don't know, black market or something. I have no idea. But but we can see some like really scary scammers that bought some Twitter accounts and seem like very professional, and but they are scammers. So I think it's necessary to use all those bots that people are developing from day to day, and try to have verifications, because I think in Web3 the ledger itself, it's the technology, it's the beauty of the technology. I can prove that I own something, that I am the owner of a token or even a wallet, and so I can easily tell whether you are the true one or no. But it's very hard to know whether you are the true Robert or no, because maybe I can change the font, or maybe I can change the wordings a little bit, add an S behind and so on, so that it's very hard to differentiate.
All right. And did there is anything that you would like to have as a new feature, or a new tools to help you on your journey as a Discord moderator?
I think I think if the Discord, that is not about safety, but I think if Discord is allowing some kind of crypto payment, it will be very cool, because we are all there.
In which way? Could you
like for example, like example, if we can pay in crypto in some kind of marketplace within Discord, then we don't have to click a lot of links, because clicking links, it's one of the traps that we fall into, the scammers. So if I can do transactions within Discord, and if the bots are very mature and very safe, and we can save a lot of time, actually, because most of the time now the way we do it is, okay, you have to go into the website, you have to make sure the website is the official website, check the spellings. Okay, next step, you have to connect your wallet to verify your position as a holder, and then you can go in to do anything you need to do. For example, mint something, for example, buy a merch, a stuff, etc. But if we can have one stop within the Discord, I think it's very efficient. We can just go on from there on. We can just, because we have the role already, we can skip the step where I have to connect my wallet into a website, because it's very dangerous if you connect your wallet and sign some random smart contract from the scammer and it's game over. So I think it's interesting to see whether Discord will accept some kind of marketplace or payment with cryptocurrencies, and we can develop something from there.
But would you say that what you are saying, it's to see Discord as a bridge between a marketplace and the community?
Yes, and of course, I think if Discord is ambitious enough, they might have a chance to have their own marketplace, because everyone is there. We are there. We are already there. So of course, some people don't like to go into the Discord for a long time. I understand that, but I think adding a layer of transaction within Discord might be something interesting, because not just buying and selling. Maybe it's for a game. Maybe it's some kind of game that we need to use our tokens to play, that we can implement them within the Discord. So because we just have to verify once in the Discord and do everything from there on. We don't have to jump into a link, because right now it's just Discord and then go into a browser, and browser doesn't work. You have to go back to Discord and ask what's going on, what happens, and so on. So it's interesting to see how do we integrate those and into one space. We can just go into one place and do everything. Just like Facebook, they have their own marketplace. We can do transactions there, because before, like 5 years ago, maybe we can just go there and post something, share something, watch videos and pictures and so on. But now we can do a lot of things, a lot of transactions over there. So I think it's interesting to see whether it will go there. And Twitter also, to be honest, maybe Twitter will.
Yes,
will
both of them are good candidates, because basically what we want, it's on Twitter and Discord very heavily. So that makes a lot of sense. So in a nutshell, it's like the move that Instagram have done, with the NFT integration. It's kind of the same approach under Discord. Okay, perfect. But okay, great. Do you see any other opportunity? Because that, for me, it's I what you just said, integrate either a marketplace or make it possible for community on Discord to stay in the app and do a purchase. So that I see that as an opportunity, So do you see any other opportunity that is lacking today?
Opportunity as in, you mean like those Web2 companies, like integrating into Web3?
Yes, I'm talking in the sense of there is a lack on the market right now, and there is something, a gap to fill, and you just express that, which gap to fill, and that I label it as an opportunity. But it's what I'm talking about, yes.
Yeah. I think it's a huge opportunity, because it's a social currency. It's a social currency. I want to prove someone that I own something, because right now I think we do not see that. Like, most people don't see that, because we still quote unquote prove our ownership on ourselves. Like, for example, I wear some expensive clothing or bags or belts, etc., to show that I own something expensive, so that I can have some social status on it. But eventually, for example, my kids is like 6 and 3. They play Roblox all the time, every day, which means they are very familiar with digital goods. They are very comfortable on buying digital goods with digital currencies. Okay, so we call them like native internet people. They're born to be that way, right? So it's very easy that they will want to spend some digital currency on some digital goods because it's how they live. So I think if somehow we go to Instagram, we saw something we like, and that thing can be integrated into, let's say, Meta's metaverse, like what Mark Zuckerberg is doing. So the next time I'm made up, let's say I'm meeting Robert in 10 years, it might not be like this. It might be very advanced. For example, we might be in a metaverse where we are in a virtual reality. So if I saw something there, I can quickly grab it. Oh, I like that shoe. I love that digital shoe from, let's say, Nike.
Mm-hmm.
So I can just click some buttons, pay something, and then I'll get it immediately. Just like going to the shopping mall. You like that shoe? Okay, it's $100 chain. That's all. You use your credit card.
Yes,
use your.
makes sense.
Yep.
Makes
So
sense.
I think the future is there. It's far, but it's there. I can totally understand because I say it in my child. I think it's totally makes sense if they go into a digital space and they start shopping there. It just makes sense because it's how we express ourselves, what we wear, what we own. So I think the gap is huge right now, but the opportunities is as well. So if someone can create a social media, which also it's a marketplace, which also it's a metaverse, I think eventually someone could have built something like that, and we all have to go there. So everything is just all at once, and I can see that many people try to do that, right? Like Meta is trying to do that, like a lot of projects that.
Yes, but here it's what you are talking about. Meta, it's a virtual world, because metaverse it's the internet as a whole. It's
Yep.
like internet as a whole in a improved generation.
Yep.
You know, there is one internet, and meaning that it's going to be the same for metaverse. And so
Yep.
here for Meta, it's a virtual world that you are referring to. But I want to jump in on here to talk to you. Look in the future. How do you see the role of a Discord moderator evolve?
I think we will need a lot of Discord moderators in the future because because Discord I think it's mandatory because the functions it have, the bots it have that can verify the ownership of the tokens. So as this goes mainstream, all of the projects, or new or old projects, or even some companies that they want to step into Web3 space, they have to have a Discord, and you have to hire experienced moderators to make sure that this is safe, so that people won't get scammed at the very least. So I think Discord moderator will be a job title that goes mainstream, I think. So right now, I tell people I'm a Discord moderator, they might not know what's going on unless you are in the Web3 space. But eventually, I think it will be just any other job. I think the future, it's going to be that way. Unless we don't use Discord anymore. But if we not use Discord, we definitely will shift the attention to some kind of replicates of Discord. So we still need moderators and in any places. So I think it will be necessary, and it will expand as people jump into this space. The job as a moderator will be seen as something very familiar to everyone.
Common.
Yeah, it will be a common job, I think. Yep.
Okay. Perfect. So your view, it's tomorrow the thing is going to be a standard. And okay, makes sense. So as it's a standard, it's going to be common. And I'm going to make a connection with my next question, being, how do you see Discord be acting as a success for a project?
I think it's important, to be honest, because it's the most direct way where the team, the founders, can connect with the holders. It's the most direct way because we are all, it's like a room. It's like a space that we all come in and then we talk to each other. and we all know each other. We know who is who because we always hang out together. So I think it's very important to gather the community, but of course, I think the success of a project always comes down to how well can the team operate. So I think the Discord is important for the success of a good community. And the operators are important to the success of the business. So we can't always go into the business meeting. Like, as much as I want to meet with Gary, but we won't see what is going on behind the scenes. That is the operators. But we, as holders or as fans, we can go into the Discord and just chat with other community members. So I think it's important for the community part. And of course, the community part is also important for the success of the business house, because if the community is strong, we will support the business and vice versa. So I think it's parallel. It's parallel.
Perfect. Make a lot of sense. Weecent, did there is a question or subject that you wanted to talk about, and where I didn't give you the opportunity?
I think to be honest, and quite a few people, I saw it on whether on Discord, on Twitter, they are trying to get a job in Web3 space because it's new, there's opportunities and so on. So I guess I would like to encourage anyone who see this to hear this podcast or see this video, this show, to really just go in, because it might take some time to get you to do some quote unquote free work. But I think those free work, it's not free because everyone's watching. Everyone's watching. So it's important. It's important to work free first, to get exposure, because people somehow think that the time is money. I get it. Of course, time is money. Time is important, the most important thing, right? But if you want something, you have to go free first, because it's too crowded. Everyone wants to be a moderator. They think it's easy. You just go in and chit chat and things of that nature. But I think it takes a lot of heart and hard works. But if you really want to, if you're really passionate about it, I think you should just go in and do it as in you are a moderator. Just trying to help people as much as possible. I think the karma point adds up. You get something cool. To be honest, that is
at least you have the knowledge. You know,
exactly.
You have by default the knowledge, and maybe tomorrow an opportunity.
Exactly. Yes.
Makes sense. And I am regarding evolution. So I'm making a little step back. I failed to ask you, did you start play with Chat GPT?
Yes. The open AI, right?
Yes. It's amazing. So, or would you see that taking that in an account? What are you going to improve or to change on your way to do Discord moderation?
I think just to be authentic and genuine, just share your point of view, not just share some answers, not just share some correct answers or political correct answers. You just share experience. That's my experience. At first I'm really afraid to get quote unquote wrong answers, you know, but there's no wrong answers as long as there's just circumstances. So I think what is the difference between us, like human, and the AI? It's not the information, but the experience. They cannot duplicate my experience. They can see from afar, but they cannot duplicate that feelings. And I think people will care about it because they know us, because we have some, like in real life events that we could go into, like or example, we could have this conversation together online on Zoom or whatever platform we want to. And that connection, I think it's very real. It's more real than we might seem from afar. So for example, I go into a Zoom meeting with Gary. I don't have the access token, but I have an alert ape. So that time, that alert ape holders can have a Zoom time with because of the launching of the jacket, right? So that's the first time I go into this type of access with Gary himself. Although I'm online, I'm sitting like at another country and just staring at my screens. But I think it's the feeling is different. I think OpenAI can't duplicate that. Even if but OpenAI is good at answering technical questions, I think. So maybe the technical questions we can go there. What is cold wallet? Then we can get the answers. But the connection, I think, it's more important, because at the end of the day, Discord moderator, it's part of the job is, of course, to give information to help people to make the channel safe. But on the other hand, I think it's built connections, like real connections, make friends, have some relationship between, so that people want to come in not because just to get information, but to really talk to their friends. So I think be authentic, be genuine.
Perfect. So okay, makes sense. So it's all you will approach integrating OpenAI with your actual role.
I would, because I think it's really fast. It's really good on answering facts, like information, right? It's like because that can help like us to do our job. So if you want all the information, because sometimes the same questions come up over and over again, because different people come in, they want to know the same information. But if the bots know the information and they can sense that from the question, it's actually this information they need, they can just fit them. And that could be really, really efficient.
Great. Perfect. I have two things to see with you. So we are going to end the interview. So the first thing, it's called in French, pas décisif. So, in English, it's a decisive pass. So it's when I'm asking to my current guest, which other guests you want to show on Robert Spotlight, and which question you want me to ask to the next guest.
Oh, next guest?
Yes.
Oh, interesting. Let's see. Is Jeremy here before? Jeremy from veefriends?
No. Jeremy knows? No.
Yeah, Jeremy knows. I would love to. I would love to hear the story about Jeremy, because it's very fascinating. It's
Okay.
very inspiring. Yep.
Let's
I think
do
the question, if I want to ask Jeremy, it's maybe to ask him why veefriends? Why veefriends? Why not Bored Ape? Why not World of Women? Why veefriends?
Okay. We can assume that it's going to be Gary, right? So do you have another question?
Or maybe what is his ambition for his own project?
Okay, good.
Yeah.
So I'm going to try to do that. And last question, Weecent. It's Weecent for you. What is an NFT?
To me, an NFT, it's the proof of ownership of something that we can easily prove on the blockchain system. So usually when people ask me, actually I explain it all the time. I think 2 days ago, my friend asked me, what are you working on? What is your passion right now? I said NFTs. Then they asked me, what is an NFT? I will tell them it's actually a token. Then I asked them, do you know a token? They said, yeah, I go to the arcade, I will change the token, I can insert into the machine, I can play the game. Exactly, that is a token. So how to prove that it is yours? Because you grab it in your hand? So what if someone snatch it away from you? You can't prove it. But if in blockchains, you can prove it easily. And if the technology becomes more advanced and more mainstream, you can prove it everywhere we go. And if that token is very valuable, it's like a key to prove that you can enter the space, you can enter some virtual or physical phase. So I think it's just a token that you can, it's just like a key, but you own it, and the blockchain can, like in lightning speed, to make sure that you actually own it.
Perfect. So thank you for your time. It was a wonderful conversation. We talked about Discord moderation. You explained what is your view around the role of a moderator, around safety for the community, and being a bridge around content between the creator and the community. You give some opportunity regarding the in-app on the Discord transaction. You know, it was a wonderful conversation. So thank you to be here, and I say to you next time on social, and maybe next year at VCon.
Yep. Okay,
Let's
looking
go.
forward to that. Thank you so much for having me.
Yes, let's do that. Bye, Weecent.
Okay, yeah. Goodbye.
Bye. And before leaving, because I have yes, so I'm going to give a little shout out to Quentin, and also shout out to all people that were present on the live. So thank you to be here, and again we show each other on another episode. So it was great. Bye.